What's up, guys? It is Coop Dizzle here, and welcome back for episode 33 on StreamCraft. It's another beautiful day here in Rhapsody, and some of you guys may not have seen this before, but this is the floating island mob farm. There's a mob farm located under my feet here, and I just AFK at the tower up there. But anyway, I just portaled in here because I was underground, doing some stuff at the underground base. Actually shown a couple of guys around on the server. And yeah, there we go. We are way above ground here. You'll get a better view of this once we get back to ground level. But check this out, man. In the last episode, let me get my cursor back. There we go. There it is. That's the Burj Khalifa cow tower. Unofficial name, working name. But yeah, it looks really cool from up here. Like, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Now, we've got to do some work on that today. But also, today is a celebration. It is a 50 sub celebration, or you could call it a 52 sub celebration, but basically you guys seemed cool with the idea of doing a celebratory episode for the channel hitting 50 subscribers. And yeah, so we're going to do a bit of a Q&A today while we're doing some work here around the base. So the idea is I'm just going to kind of set up what we're about to work on, and then I'm going to record some footage of me working on it, probably mostly first-person footage unless we're doing something outdoors. Yeah, in fact, we will get at least one outdoors thing, so that'll be good. But yeah, we've got some work to do today, and then while we're kind of doing that work, I will answer your questions. And I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for leaving questions in the comments of the last video, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do a Q&A. So the first few projects that we're going to work on today, we've got this cow farm going. The cow farm works well. I figured out what the problem was in the last episode. I almost don't want to go down here. But yeah, so I didn't see it. You guys probably did. But this row of glass was missing right here. And so what was happening was there were, we were breeding up cows, and the baby cows would float along, and then they just pop out through here. And there's this hole in the floor, and a lot of them were falling down in there. So after I collected those guys, the loot from the farm was a lot better. I'm just watching these cows because I feel like there's been some lag on the server lately, and I'm not sure. I don't know if my base is causing that or something else is causing that. But anyway, we've got a few things to do to wrap up this project. The first thing we're going to be working on is... How did you get out here, man? I thought I got all the strays. The first thing we're going to be working on is, I think, a ceiling design, because I don't really have a floor design in mind yet. We'll probably do something really simple, but yeah, I think we're going to do a ceiling design, and I want to try and incorporate a cow somehow. So maybe like some kind of cow pixel art or something like that. It might be kind of tough to center that just because of these blocks up here. Although once I think I have to remove this bottom layer to make an entrance, so that might get things better too. So I think we're going to do some kind of cow face in the ceiling, and that would, just tie into the fact that it's a cow farm. And who knows, I might even go ahead and do the floor design too, just because it's going to be a really simple floor design, I think. And I need to get some chests in here so I can stock up on some potions of harming and some other stuff. I don't know what, but some other stuff. And yeah, let's go sleep real quick. Other projects for today's episode include the exterior. There's a little bit of the back wall. If you remember from the last episode, the back wall over here, yeah, it's just a little bit flat. I originally, these back platforms, like you can see, the platforms kind of stagger as they go up. And originally this first platform was really high up, and it just kind of threw off the whole thing. So I brought that down, and this is where the pattern starts now. So it goes here, up to here, and then off to the platform on the other side, and then back up over here. And yeah, but that made this back wall really flat. So we got to fix that thing up, and then the structure itself should be done. We might change up the base as well, although I'm not 100% sure yet. And definitely we need to get some groundwork out here, so it's not just grass. We need to put in some concrete kinds of things like we are doing over there. And there might be a couple of other, tiny changes around the base that we're going to make as well. We'll see. But I'm excited to get started, guys. I'm really excited to record this. It's episode 33. That means that we are about a third of the way to 100 episodes, which is pretty cool. And it also happens to be, after the channel has hit 50 subs. So thank you so much, guys. I wanted to do something kind of cool and different for you, and I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. Anyway, I'm going to get to work on this ceiling design, and now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably put in a floor first, like in these corners, just to make putting in the ceiling easier. So we're going to do that, come up with a ceiling design, and get the interior of this place looking a lot better, and I'll start answering some of your questions. The first question was, what is your favorite Minecraft build? Now, I wasn't too sure if that meant like my favorite thing that I've made or the favorite thing that someone else has made or all over. So I have a three-part answer for this. My favorite world of all time is Scarland. Scarland is made by a YouTuber. His channel is called Good Times with Scar, and go check out his channel. He is a master of detail. He is a master of landscaping, and he does big builds. And he's been working on his it's a single player survival series that he's been doing for 2 or 3 years, and it just, everywhere you go there is something to see. It's amazing and it's massive. Go check out one of his world tours. You won't be disappointed. My favorite structure of all time that I've ever seen someone make probably is the ribbon. That was by Slipgator in Hermitcraft Season 2. The ribbon was an amazing structure, and I mean there are so many cool structures in Minecraft, but as far as survival builds, probably the ribbon. And I should say, speaking of Slipgator, for my favorite world, a very, very, very close second is Sliptopia, which is his single-player world, and you can actually download that world on his channel. I think it's under the About tab of his page, and just go check it out. It's definitely not as detailed and as immersive as Scar's, but it's really cool, and it was actually, even though it's older Minecraft, it was a big influence for the concept of Rhapsody, or at least the city portion was influenced by that. So my favorite build that I have done, I think, is probably the Dark Forest. It really is some of the most one of the most fun projects that I've done in Minecraft, and I really just like walking around in it and hanging out in it, and I think it's really neat. And actually, it's nowhere near completed. It's probably only about 20% done, guys, so we have a lot of work left to do. I imagine by the time the Dark Forest is completed, it's going to be a really cool place to explore. Next question, what is your job in real life? Awesome question. I have an awesome job. I am a band director, and currently I am a middle school band director. So yeah, I started in band in the 7th grade, and I have done it ever since. I haven't looked back. I didn't always know that that's what I wanted to do, but when I was a sophomore in high school, I got to be a part of an incredible high school band program, and it just changed my life. My sophomore year is when I really fell in love with band music and with classical music in general, and it's not always easy. It's a difficult job at times. It takes a tremendous amount of effort, but it is extremely rewarding. I have so much fun, especially this time of the year when all of the students are really starting to peak and just reach new levels of playing and artistry. It is so much fun. So that's my dream job, and I am living the dream, guys. So the most asked question was, what games do you play besides Minecraft? And to be honest, I do play other games, but not really. I pretty much play Minecraft all the time. The only time that I break from Minecraft is when there's a major release that I'm really interested in. Like, it has to be such an awesome game coming out that I'm so excited about that I'll go out and buy it. And that's pretty much the only time I take a break from Minecraft, so it doesn't happen very often. Currently, I do play Assassin's Creed Unity, but mostly it's not because I love the game. It's mostly because I get to hang out with one of my friends who lives in a different city, and so every once in a while, sometime at night, we will hop on Assassin's Creed because we both happen to have that game, and I actually got it just so I could play it with him, pretty much. So we'll hop on and we'll game for a little bit and catch up, and it's a lot of fun. But it's mostly just a thing that we do as friends, if that makes sense. Otherwise, I did take a break from Minecraft to play The Last of Us and Grand Theft Auto 5, excuse me, and I think, if this was recent enough, I think I remember taking a break to play BioShock Infinite. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably take a break for the next Batman Arkham game because I'm a huge Batman fan. And also, I'll definitely take a break for the next Metal Gear Solid game. But that's kind of how it works. I really don't play other games that often, not regularly anyway. Alright guys, well believe it or not, I've been struggling for a couple of days to figure out the design for the inside of this thing. And yeah, the room is just such a strange shape, you know? And that made it really difficult to try and do anything with the ceiling. But it is a whole lot better than it was, so we'll check that out. First, just real quick here, we've got a little bit of a door design. It's really simple with quartz blocks just running up and then some stairs for detail and chisel quartz in the middle just for another added decoration, I guess. And that's a lot better than it was, so nothing too fancy, but it's something. And here we go. I've got the cow face in. This took a little bit of trial and error. I don't know if you would be able to tell from the first person footage. Originally I started out trying to put it in the ceiling, and the cow face ran where this room starts to curve inwards. It ran right into the cow face. And the other thing too that I didn't even think about is that any mob pixel art is going to be 8 by 8, and I had a wider space to work with. At least in this area I had more. Keeping in mind that this farm design right here, the original farm design is 10 by 10, and I modified it to be 11 by 11 just to fit the space, you know. So anyway, I had to kind of modify the cow pixel art so that the cow pixel art was 9 by 9 instead of 8 by 8, and I think it turned out pretty good. I think you might be able to tell where it's a little bit off. I basically made the mouth a little bit wider, and I added another strip somewhere along here. Like that eyeball should be connected right here, for example. I think that's the only major change I had to do, but I think overall it turned out pretty good, so I'm happy with it. I think that's kind of a cool little addition. Now for the rest of the room, that was really the tough part. There are things that I like and things that I dislike. First of all, we got some chests in, which is good. I'm getting some server lag apparently, but let me just grab this glass. Now whoops, most of these chests don't have anything in them yet. They're just going to be here in case I need them for whatever. But I did put some extra wheat, as you could see in here, to refill the system when I need to. And also those glass blocks, when I need to go AFK, I can just seal myself in like that, and that'll keep me alive. So, but anyway, so for the ceiling here, we've got basically for all the walls and for this, well, this is the only wall, but for the ceiling and yeah, I guess so, for these walls, we've got dark oak wood. I put a little bit of ceiling lighting in there, nothing too spectacular, but just something to fill the space, and I think that looks pretty good. These areas over here were pretty challenging as well, just because if you kind of look, originally this was one strip of andesite that kind of connected over here. So all of this before was dark oak wood, where I kind of filled it in, and I kind of had to do that just to square off this room a little bit. Otherwise it was pretty difficult to work with, to be honest. The stone brick here has to be there for the outside as well, so that was another problem. For example, if I were to remove, let's try this one, you can see there's a stone brick stair right there, and you can actually see through to the outside. So we kind of have to have these here to make the outside of the building look better. So that was another thing that made it really challenging too. I couldn't really change any of that. I just kind of had to work with what was already there. And once I did that, it came together a little bit better. But I think it's definitely a lot better, and at least we have, unlike the sugarcane farm, we have like this nice room that we can walk into and do our business, so to speak. What am I on about? I was gonna say not that kind of business, the cow farming business. So okay, I got all of it. Let me drop that back in here. So the next thing that we have to do, I kind of want to get on with it, because there are at least a few things I'd like to do in this episode, if they don't all take forever like that one did. The next one is going to be fixing up this back wall over here. So I'm going to get to work. We're going to cut to a third-person perspective while I answer more of your questions. Oh, who's here? Another zombie. What's up, dude? Man, there's 3 of them. This place is getting dangerous, guys. I got to figure this thing out. So anyway, let me wrap this up real quick so we can get to work. We're going to go third-person perspective, and I'm just going to try and fix up the curve on this wall so that it looks good from all angles. And yeah, so let's get started, guys. It should be fun. So related to that last question was, have you ever played Sims or SimCity? Yes, absolutely. I was hooked on SimCity 2000, although by the time that I got to play it, it was an old game already, but I loved it. I was hooked on SimCity 2000, and also I was hooked on the first Sims game. Loved both of those games. The other games after those never really captured the magic for me like those 2 did, so I kind of stopped playing them after that. Although I recently tried City Skylines, and I will say that it is as good as everyone says and probably worth your money. I would play it more often, but I want my videos to stay at a, I want to keep the quality of my videos up. So given that, if I want to keep my videos to be as good as they are, then almost all of my game time has to be devoted to Minecraft, which, to be honest, is just fine with me. There are times where I don't have much time to play, but very rarely do I feel like I need a break from Minecraft. If you notice me getting less done in a video, or if you notice that I miss a week or something like that, it's not because I'm getting worn out or tired of the game. It's usually just because between my work and my family life, I have a lot of responsibilities that just have to come first. But to me, there's still so much in Minecraft that I have yet to do, so when you think of it like that, it rarely gets old. Another popular question is, what is your favorite block, or what is your favorite block to build with? So this might be kind of a boring answer, but I would say probably quartz. It's really clean, and it looks good next to just about anything, and it's also hard to get. And you may have noticed this about my builds, but I like using blocks that are either considered expensive, like decorative blocks like redstone blocks, diamond blocks, gold blocks, lapis, those kinds of things, but also hard to get blocks. So for example, sandstone is something you kind of have to go out of the way for. When I did the hacienda, I used brick for the roof, and that is a pain in the butt to get. Nether brick is also one of my favorite blocks, just because I love the color, I like the texture, and again, it's hard to get. I don't know what it is about using expensive blocks or hard to get blocks, but I try to make that a part of every build that I do. I just think it ups the baller level on your builds when you're using blocks that are expensive. I don't know how else to put that, but I hope that makes sense, and hopefully it's not cheesy. I will say one thing that I think about whenever I'm getting ready for a build is whatever my primary building block is going to be, I really try to pick something with stair and slab options, and usually not wood, unless I'm building a house made out of wood. Usually I won't use wood as a primary building block because I want to use that as a primary flooring or something, or a ceiling or something like that. So some kind of block that has a slab and stair option is usually going to be my primary building block, and quartz does all of those things. It has all the options, and it also looks great and is hard to get, so I'd say that's pretty awesome. Another popular question was, what is your favorite hobby besides Minecraft, or what other hobbies are you good at? Well, I love watching and reading anything Batman related. I think I mentioned Batman earlier. I've been a Batman fan since I was a little boy, and I grew up with the Adam West and as Batman, and Burt Reynolds. No, not Burt Reynolds. Burt Ward. There we go. Burt Reynolds as Robin. That would be hilarious. Burt Ward was Robin in that show. Ever since then, I've been a huge Batman fan, and I watched all the different Batman cartoons growing up. I've seen all the movies. I love the Dark Knight trilogy, and recently, within the last year or so, I've been getting more and more into reading the comics and the graphic novels and things like that. Finally, although I wouldn't call it a hobby necessarily, meditation is something that I sometimes do in my spare time. I wouldn't say that I'm good at it, but I would say that it was very helpful in helping me to deal with my wife going through cancer treatment, and it continues to be helpful just dealing with everyday stresses. So even though it's not I don't know if you would call it a hobby. It is something that you have to devote time to, and it's something that you have to practice to be good at. Well, that didn't take very long. Not long at all. And what a beautiful view of the sunset we have from up here on the observation deck of of the Burj Khalifa cow tower. But yeah, before mobs start spawning in here, let's go take a look at what this looks like. Oh, I think I'm getting a little bit of lag. That's been happening a lot ever since I made this cow farm. Yeah, well, it's definitely a lot better. That's weird, you can't really see the glass panes up at the top there. If we move in a little bit closer, and it affects my frame rate too, this structure does. So there we go, we have to get all the way over here for those glass panes to render in up at the top. That's interesting, I never noticed that before. But I would definitely say that's a lot better than it was. So I'm gonna be happy with that. I think overall it's definitely a big improvement. I'm gonna call that thing done. I think that looks pretty good. We could maybe, let's see how good I can toss this ender pearl. Can I get on the wall? I think I overshot. No! Oh, you jerk. Ah, freaking jerk. At least it didn't take out my wall, but still did take out one of my trees. And now the zombies are coming in. Walking Dead. Oh man, now a skeleton. Oh, crap. Well, it's not like I'm gonna die or anything. I guess I can calm down. But anyway, let's hop down here on the wall. This is one of the other places where we kind of checked it out in the last episode. And yeah, I do feel like, oh, come on, man. I'm trying to do some recording here. What a jerk. There we go. These mobs, man. But anyway, I do feel like that is curved out a little bit better. Yeah, it definitely is. So the next thing we have to do to really polish this thing up, or polish this thing off, yeah, I guess that makes sense, to finish it off, get it nice and polished, is we are going to basically do a concrete area to surround it. Like you'll notice if I come over here, you have this area, so it's not just grass. You know, you have this concrete area, and I'm starting to struggle with this a bit. I think that what is that? Let's see, andesite, diorite, and granite is what I use for the floor over there, and that works out. It works out fine. But over here, you know, I went for more of like a stone color, and like I really like this pattern, for example. This one looks pretty cool with the stone brick and the andesite, and bordered by the stone brick fence with the iron bars. Actually, I want to get the iron bars over here too. That could be an easy project to do. Let me check my 6 here and make sure I'm not getting ambushed. So yeah, that's something I want to do over here too, and also add some shrubbery and stuff like that, which all those kinds of details we're going to get done. The problem is I really don't have that many like designs for this kind of thing. I tried to do the checker pattern thing over here with the chiseled stone brick, and it just looks nowhere near as good. But I don't think I want to have this checkerboard design going all the way across Rhapsody. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like we're going to have to do something different. That guy's interested in the villagers. That's fine. So anyway, I'm not really sure what we're going to do as far as a pattern, or even if it's going to be like a stone pattern like this. So yeah, I'm really torn about it because I just don't know what to do. But anyway, I'm going to do some thinking about it. I think I'm actually going to take a little break, maybe hang out with the kiddos, and maybe... No! You jerk! Seriously, where is this guy coming from? Oh man, I really have to do some light level checks around here. It used to be really safe in here. I put those torches back there because I figured they were spawning in here. And let me see, just have a quick check. Okay, so we're looking at block. Right there is a spawnable block. So if I were to, for right now, at least temporarily, get the F3 screen off, just put some torches in here, that should help out a bit. But anyway, geez, man. Alright, so yeah, like I was saying, I think I'm going to go hang out with the kiddos a little bit. They're playing Minecraft on console edition, so I think I'm going to go hang out with them for a bit and have a think about what we're going to do for this outside area. I can tell you it's only going to go out by about 3 blocks. So it'll be like out by 3 blocks. Yeah, and then maybe on the 4th one we'll do like a stone brick border, similar to what we did over there. and then I'll just have to try and figure out what would be a good design for the brick area. And yeah, and while we're doing that, of course, I'll be answering some more of your questions with video in a third-person perspective. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing this, guys, and yeah, let's get back to it. So guys, thank you so much again for the questions. Before we wrap up the video, I do want to let you guys know that my videos may be what you might call lighter fare for the next few weeks. I always try and make my videos kind of over the top with tons and tons of progress, you know, representing 20 to 40 hours worth of gameplay. 40 is on the extreme, but 20 is normal. And so just tons of progress is what I usually try to do. That will probably change over the next month or so, because it is crunch time right now for my job. We are in the middle of band contest season for concert and sight reading contest, and I have been putting a lot of my energy into making every rehearsal count and just helping my band to just be the very best that it can be. And they really are. I could talk good things about my band for a long time, but that's not what this video is about. But anyway, I just need to let you guys know that really is taking up an extra night of my week. It's taking up extra time for planning. So right now, that is my big focus. That said, I don't want to miss a month worth of videos, so I do plan on releasing videos of some sort every week. They might not be what you're used to, but hopefully you'll enjoy them anyway. And hopefully you'll understand. And after mid-April, we'll be done with our contest, and then I'll be able to focus a little bit more on big builds again. So thanks again for all of your questions, guys. I hope that you enjoy getting to know me a little bit better. Now I want to ask you a question, and I'd like for you to answer in the comments so that I can get to know you guys a little bit better. And my question for you is, how did you get started in Minecraft? How did you find out about it? What was it about Minecraft that drew you to the game? And yeah, I'd be really interested to kind of find out how you guys ended up finding Minecraft. So please share your story if you don't mind. I'd love to hear your story about how you got into the game down in the comments section. Now, let's wrap up this build and finish up this episode. Alright guys, well, we are just about finished up with the episode. Thanks again for leaving me all the questions and stuff. And let me just dump this in here real quick. So as you can see here, I have been doing some AFK work here at the farm. Not a whole lot, but enough to get quite a bit of resources together. Let me see, did I grab the last bit of this? Because not only do we need this, not only do we need the leather for books, of which we could make a ton of now, but also we need them for item frames for our chest room project that's coming up. That's probably going to be the next really big project that happens, is going to be the storage system. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, so yeah, whenever I wasn't able to build or whatever, I've been trying to do a little bit of AFK over here. Oh, well, good timing, I guess. We'll go ahead and take a look at this stuff before it gets too dangerous out here. So I'm really happy with how all this turned out. Well, first of all, we got the back wall done, right? So now it looks a lot better from all three main angles. Yeah, that definitely looks so much better. So I'm really happy. I feel like the outside of the structure is pretty much complete, and well, not pretty much, I think it's complete. It's good to go. And the second thing we got done, of course, was the interior, or maybe this was the first thing we did, I'm not sure. And you know, I wasn't too happy with this at first, but I guess, you know, sometimes stuff kind of just grows on you. I wish that stair didn't have to be facing in, but it kind of does because of how it interacts with the stairs on the outside. But anyway, I think this turned out pretty good, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, the cow face, it's a little bit derpy, but it works. You know, it's a cow farm, and we shouldn't take ourselves too seriously, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, I think I'm about to get attacked. I see you up there, creeper. Can I sleep? I have a real bad internet connection right now. There we go. And anyway, and then finally, of course, what you just watched me doing was the exterior work. So I was talking, I think in the last cut, I talked about how I didn't want to do one of the patterns that I already had over there, and I basically just did checker patterns. So what I went for is a mix of smooth stone and stone brick, and I just really randomized it. And occasionally you'll see the gray carpet that's just hiding some additional lighting. And then I threw in the andesite as well because it works really well. So doing a randomized pattern like that, I don't know that that's what you would see in a, next to a modern skyscraper, but I think that it still looks good. And of course, went ahead and went the extra mile and put some bushes just around the base of the structure. So I think that adds a little bit of detail as well. And these little bits of gardening out front here, it's not much, but it's something. And this thing, okay, I wanted to AFK a little bit more and let these vines grow down the rest of the way, but hopefully you can get the idea. Like if I stand over here, you can kind of see this is meant to be like one of those fancy modern tall vertical bushes, and you could just stack a bush up like this, but this gives it a little bit more detail. It looks like a bush with branches on the inside. So yeah, you can kind of get a better idea maybe from back here. There we go, you can kind of see what that looks like. So anyway, it just adds a little bit of greenery to the building, and kind of just adds it a little bit of life. Just as Corrales would say, don't neglect the bushes. They really do add quite a lot. So did some water features here in the front. I had to kind of mess with this. I ended up going for the window panes and just connecting them like this, because without those there, it actually looked kind of bad. So anyway, and then this little walkway leading up, and that's about it, guys. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the build. I wish there was, I'll just do this. Let's hop up here real quick and we'll get a little bit better look at how the finished product turned out. I really haven't seen it from a better vantage point yet, I guess you could say. But yeah, you may remember how this looked in the last episode. It was just sitting on top of grass, and I think with this stone base surrounding it, or the concrete you could say, the fact that it's standing on concrete now definitely adds a lot. I forgot to mention that fence, but that's pretty obvious. I mean, I say like all this stuff, I point to what I did and talk about it, but you guys can see it for yourselves, obviously. So anyway, the fence design is similar to the one that I used for the Gurkha Villager Tower. So anyway, yeah, I think it turned out really cool, and hopefully you like it, guys. A little bit embarrassing too. I did most of the third-person stuff without a shirt on, or at least without armor, I guess you could say. I let my dang chest plate break, and oh well, it had thorns on it, so it was going to be tough to upkeep anyway. Replacing it's not a big deal once you've got a villager trading center like I do. So anyway, that's why I'm wearing iron chest plate for now. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for every time you've watched a video, for every time you've left a like, for every time that you've left a comment, or shared the video, or anything you've done to support the channel in the last year or so, or I guess I could say even since it started, but definitely since we've started doing StreamCraft is when most of you guys kind of found the channel. So thank you so much again, and I hope that you enjoyed the Q&A special. I had a lot of fun doing it. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button, and if you're new to the series, feel free to subscribe so you can follow along as we continue to build this epic base. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it. So until next time, may you be happy, may you be well, and take care. I'll see you later.